You picked it up 3 minutes ago. You know that. And yet your hand is already moving toward it again. You tell yourself you are just checking the time. But the time is not why you looked. Something older than habit is pulling at you. Something that has nothing to do with screens or apps or notifications. Something that was already ancient before your great-great-grandmother was born. Your phone addiction is not a modern problem. It is a prehistoric one. Here is what nobody tells you. The part of your brain that cannot leave your phone alone is the same part that kept your ancestors alive on the open savanna. It was scanning then. It is scanning now. The environment changed. The wiring did not. To understand why you cannot stop, you have to go back. Not 10 years, not 50. You have to go back roughly 200,000 years to the moment your species first appeared, and to the problem every single human brain was built to solve. The problem was information, not data, not facts. Information in the oldest, most survival-critical sense of the word. What changed? What moved? What is new? Because on the African savanna, a change in your environment was almost always meaningful. A rustle in the grass was a predator. A gathering of birds meant water. A darkening sky meant shelter. The humans who could not stop scanning their environment for novelty were the ones who survived long enough to have children. The ones who sat still and stopped paying attention got eaten. Neuroscientist Jaak Panksepp called this the seeking system. It is one of the most ancient emotional circuits in the mammalian brain, a continuous low-grade compulsion to explore, to search, to look for what might be out there. It is not curiosity in the polite, intellectual sense. It is a biological drive, like hunger or thirst. It does not switch off. It just redirects. For 200,000 years, that system redirected itself toward the physical world. Your ancestors scanned the horizon. They scanned faces. They scanned the sky. The feedback was immediate and physical. You looked, you found, or you did not find, and the loop closed. Then, in the span of a single generation, you handed that ancient scanning system a small glowing rectangle and told it this was the horizon now. And it believed you. This is what behavioral economist B.J. Fogg identified when he began studying persuasive technology in the late 1990s. The smartphone is not just a tool. It is a precision-engineered trigger for the seeking system. Every feature that makes it hard to put down, the pull to refresh, the notification badge, the infinite scroll, was designed with the ancient brain's hunger for novelty in mind. Not maliciously, but effectively. Pull to refresh is a slot machine lever. You pull it, something might be new. Usually, nothing is. Sometimes, something is. That unpredictable reward schedule, what behavioral psychologist B.F. Skinner called variable ratio reinforcement, is the most powerful conditioning pattern ever discovered. It is more addictive than predictable rewards. It is what keeps pigeons pecking and humans scrolling. The brain does not habituate to a reward that might come. It escalates. It leans in. It checks again. And so you check again. But there is a second layer to this that goes even deeper than novelty seeking. It is something your ancestors needed just as desperately as they needed to track predators. They needed to track each other. Humans are not apex predators by strength. They are apex predators by cooperation. The group was survival. Exclusion from the group was death. And so your brain evolved an extraordinarily sensitive monitoring system for social information. Who is allied with whom? Who is rising in status? Who is falling? What the group thinks of you, whether you are still included. Psychologist Matthew Lieberman, in his landmark research on the social brain, demonstrated that the human brain processes social information using the same neural networks it uses to process physical threats. Being left out of the group and being chased by a lion activate overlapping circuitry. Social rejection, to your ancient brain, is not a feeling. It is a survival alert. Your phone is now the primary channel for all of that social information. Every notification is a potential signal from the group. Every like, every message, every tag is data your ancestral brain files under. Am I still in? Am I valued? What is my position? You are not being shallow when you check whether someone responded to you. You are running a threat assessment protocol that is 100,000 years old. The combination is almost impossible to resist. novelty seeking plus social monitoring, delivered in unpredictable bursts, available at any moment in the palm of your hand. Your ancestors had to wait hours or days for meaningful new information. You get it in milliseconds. The dosage has been multiplied by a factor the brain was never built to handle. Researcher Anna Lembke, in her work on dopamine and compulsive behavior, describes what happens next. Every time you check your phone and find something, a message, a response, a piece of news, your brain releases a small pulse of dopamine. Dopamine is not pleasure. That is a common misconception. Dopamine is anticipation. It is the neurological signal that says, keep going, there might be more. And the more often you trigger it, the more the baseline shifts. Over time, the brain downregulates its own dopamine receptors in response to repeated stimulation. The result is that the same activity produces less satisfaction, but the compulsion to do it does not decrease. It increases. You need more to feel the same. You check more often and feel less rewarded. The seeking intensifies as the finding disappoints. This is the trap. And it was built from the same architecture that once made your ancestors brilliantly alive. Stop for a moment and notice what you feel between notifications. When your phone is silent, when there is no new information, there is a faint unease there, is there not? A low background restlessness, like something is missing, like you should be doing something, like the environment has gone suspiciously quiet. That feeling is ancient. Your ancestors felt it too, standing on the edge of the savanna, scanning a horizon that was not moving. The silence before a predator attacks is not peaceful. It is charged. Your brain learned to distrust it. The phone fills that silence. Every check is a small reassurance that the horizon is safe, the group is intact, nothing has changed that you do not know about. For a moment, the restlessness quiets. Then the seeking system resets. And you check again. Knowing this does not automatically free you from it. The circuit does not dissolve because you understand it. But something shifts when you realize what you are actually doing when you reach for your phone. You are not being weak. You are not being shallow. You are being human in the oldest possible way. Scanning the horizon, checking on the tribe, making sure nothing in your world has changed without you knowing. The savanna is gone. The wiring remains. And somewhere between the ape who could not stop watching the tree line and the person who cannot stop watching the screen, there is a continuous thread. The same restless, seeking, socially alert brain doing exactly what it was built to do. You picked it up 3 minutes ago. Now you know why.